I want to dive into one of my favorite stories from the Gospel of Matthew, when Jesus walked on the water, and Peter took a bold step of faith to join him. It's a story full of awe, wonder, and valuable lessons. And straightway Jesus constrained his disciples to get into a ship, and to go before him unto the other side, while he sent the multitudes away. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up into a mountain apart to pray, and when the evening was come, he was there alone. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. And in the fourth watch of the night Jesus went unto them, walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit, and they cried out for fear. But straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water, to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand, and caught him, and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? And when they were come into the ship, the wind ceased. Then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, Of a truth thou art the Son of God. Matthew 14 verses 22 to 33. Jesus had just fed the multitude with 5 loaves and 2 fish. Talk about a divine buffet, and he sent his disciples ahead in a boat while he went up on a mountain to pray. As the ship sailed, a storm arose, and the wind and waves began to toss the boat like a leaf in a hurricane. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd be freaking out. The disciples were seasoned fishermen, so if they were scared, you can bet I would be too. But just as the storm was brewing, Jesus came strolling on the water like it was just another sunny day at the beach. No biggie. The disciples were understandably spooked and thought they saw a ghost. Who wouldn't? But Jesus said, Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And then, here comes our buddy Peter. You know, the impulsive, adventurous disciple who always says what's on his mind. Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water, he shouts over the howling wind. Now, I can't help but admire Peter's boldness. Instead of asking Jesus to calm the storm, he wants to walk on water. Who even thinks of that? Not me. And guess what? Jesus says, Come. And without a second thought, Peter throws his leg over the boat and steps onto the raging sea. Can you imagine the excitement mixed with fear that must have been coursing through his veins? This guy is walking on water. But here's where things get real. As Peter walks toward Jesus, the wind starts playing mind games with him. Fear begins to gnaw at his faith. He takes his eyes off Jesus and starts focusing on the storm. And you know what happens next, he begins to sink. Now, before we start poking fun at Peter for his little faith, let's take a moment to reflect. How often have we faced storms in life and prayed, Lord, just make this go away? It's natural to want the storm to cease, right? But what if, like Peter, we shifted our perspective? Instead of asking Jesus to calm the storm, what if we asked him to walk through it with us? You see, Jesus didn't promise us a life without storms. In fact, he guaranteed the opposite. He said, In the world, ye shall have tribulation. But he also gave us the best reassurance ever, but be of good cheer, I have overcome the world. John 16 verse 33. So, my friends, it's time to channel our inner Peter and boldly step out of the boat of fear and anxiety. We might stumble sometimes, but remember that Jesus is right there to catch us. He won't let us sink. As we walk through life's storms with Jesus, we'll learn to keep our eyes fixed on him, no matter how loud the wind howls or how high the waves rise. Our faith will grow stronger as we trust that he's with us every step of the way. So next time life throws you a tempestuous curveball, remember this story. Don't just pray for the storm to pass, pray for the courage to walk through it with Jesus. And you know what? You might end up doing the impossible and walking on water.